Viral Stories presents, a teacher humiliates a little girl in front of the class and she gets the best revenge. There are two types of teachers in the world. There are some who go above and beyond for their students. They have no problem staying late to help students understand the work that they're struggling with. These teachers talk to their students about their problems at home and their personal problems to help them in a way that their peers can't. These are the teachers who take great pride in their students' accomplishments and they don't take any of the credit. These teachers make sure that their students understand that their accomplishments are their own and that the teacher just helped them a little along the way. There are some teachers though who unfortunately are the exact opposite. These teachers do the bare minimum just to get a paycheck. They don't have the patience for the students who are struggling. Rather than helping the students, they allow them to fail. Some teachers don't have the patience or the understanding to be in this kind of job. It's a very sad thing for children and for education, but it is a reality. This is the story of when a teacher humiliated an 8-year-old girl in front of the class, but then that girl takes the ultimate revenge. The best part about this story is that there is an actual video of the little girl's revenge. The situation occurred in Russia. The teacher was trying to teach the students English and he had a student standing at the board. The entire video was in Russian. However, English subtitles do allow you to see what's happening in the video. Why the lesson was being recorded is still unknown. However, when you get to the end of the video, you'll be happy that there was someone in the classroom filming. The teacher had a young girl at the chalkboard and he was trying to teach her the English words, for you, and I. Well, she didn't seem to understand what the teacher was trying to say. Well, rather than calmly explaining these words to the student, he just kept yelling the words in her face. He did it over and over again. You could tell the girl was becoming very uncomfortable. Not only was her teacher a person in her life that she should have trusted was yelling at her. He was doing so in front of the entire class. No child wants to get yelled at by a teacher in front of their peers. It can be very upsetting and extremely embarrassing. This type of scolding can scar a child. When things like this happen, the child is not going to want to go in front of the class when called in the future. Eventually, the child could completely lose their thirst for knowledge and their love of learning. The teacher in this video clearly does not understand that, or he doesn't care, and he continued to yell at the girl when she wasn't getting the answers correct. There's a good chance that if the teacher had stopped yelling at the little girl for just a second and calmly explained to the girl what he needed her to know, she may have understood the lesson. Instead, he was yelling, banging on the chalkboard, and making her incredibly nervous. It's impossible for a child to learn anything in those kinds of circumstances. The teacher should have known that, but some people just should not be teachers, and this man is one of them. Halfway through the video, things begin to get scary. He goes from being downright mean to violent when he starts trying to teach the little girl the English word, for you. She's already nervous and flustered and she's not answering him at all. At this point he made it impossible for her to understand. The longer she stood there, the angrier he became. When she didn't respond, he started hitting her in the head. He was showing her that you meant her, but she didn't respond. He just kept hitting her in the head, yelling. Finally, it became too much for the little girl to take the last time. He hit her in the head. She had had enough. She lifted her leg and kicked him in the groin. He doubled over in pain as she ran out of the room. Soon after, the camera stops. Violence is not the answer, especially in a classroom, but well, you know, in the little girl's defense, this teacher became violent first. He had it coming. He began hitting her in the head over and over again. This is something that would never be tolerated in a school in the United States and many other parts of the world. In most schools of a zero tolerance, a teacher striking a child in any way for any reason, something like this would get most teachers fired in a moment. Unfortunately, there is nothing online about the teacher, the student, or what happened after the girl took out her revenge on this teacher. The video quickly went viral. Though, it currently has almost 7 million views. It also received 675 likes. If the lesson was being filmed by the school, there's a chance that the school department saw what happened, if a teacher was disciplined instead of the student. If a student was filming the lesson, they may not have gotten their hands on the video. If this is the case, she can only hope that when the video did go viral, the school system where this horrible teacher was employed, saw the video and he was fired immediately. Striking a child for any reason at all is never acceptable, especially if you're a teacher. There are two types of teachers in this world, as I mentioned before, the good ones who care and the bad ones who don't. This video proves that the teacher in this classroom doesn't belong to any classroom. One of the main qualities that make a good teacher is patience. This teacher had zero. He deserves to be kicked in the groin. Maybe, after this he'll never lay his hand on another child again. Subscribe for more.